By the end of this video, you will know exactly which one of these you should use to create your online store, because we're going to go over the pros and the cons of every single e-commerce platform in this video. But make sure you stay till the end of the video because I have the hookup. I have special discounted prices for all these platforms that I'm going to share with you at the end of this video. And last year, over $6 trillion was spent on online websites. And e-commerce is growing like crazy, but still e-commerce only makes up 15% of all retail sales, which means that right now is the perfect time to start your online store because there's still a ton of room to grow. And by the end of this year, it's expected that 65% of all Americans will purchase something online. But if you want to be one of the millions of people that are making money online, you're going to need to create a website. And in this video, we're going to tell you exactly which platform you should use. Let's start with Shopify, which is one of the most popular e-commerce platforms out there. Though it's not actually the most popular. The most popular e-commerce platform is WooCommerce. But still, Shopify is the most popular e-commerce platform for professional e-commerce sellers. And that's because it's built from the ground up to support e-commerce. They also offer 24/7 support, and one of the big benefits of Shopify is you can choose from a ton of different free or paid themes that's going to make your site look beautiful. It's also the easiest e-commerce platform to set up. In fact, you can create an online store using Shopify in just 4 minutes. I also have a free 14-day trial for you of Shopify that you can use by clicking the link down below. And when you use the link down below, you also get a free SSL certificate that'll make sure that your website is secure so that you can take online payments. Another pro of Shopify is they have a ton of apps, plugins, and integrations. So whatever you want your website to do, there's probably already an app out there that's doing that. Back in the old days when you had an e-commerce store, you would have to hire a developer to custom design some element of your website. But because Shopify has so many apps and plugins, you won't need to hire a developer. You can just use one of those existing solutions. The biggest con for Shopify is that it can be kind of expensive, starting at $29 a month for the most basic plan and going up from there. On top of that, if you want to use apps, plugins, or different integrations, you're going to have to pay even more money for those features. Another con is that there's limited customization for the product page and the checkout page. Some of the other platforms we'll talk about later allow you to have full customization like WooCommerce. And even though you have 24/7 support with Shopify, the quality of support you get has gone downhill with Shopify over the last few years. If you are looking for a cheaper option than Shopify, stay tuned for WooCommerce. It's actually a free e-commerce platform that I'll be talking about later. But next up is Squarespace. And Squarespace helps you to build beautiful websites. There is a huge selection of designer-made templates that look beautiful. They also offer 24/7 customer support. But the biggest con with Squarespace is that it's not built with e-commerce in mind. It started out as a place to build websites, and they later added on this e-commerce functionality. There's also not a lot of plugins or apps, so a lot of times there's things that you want your website to do that you just can't do with Squarespace. And starting at $16 a month, Squarespace is more affordable than Shopify, but it's missing so many features that I do not recommend this platform unless you're an artist or a creator and you're trying to make a beautiful website first and foremost, and then you're just going to happen to be selling some CDs or some art on it as well. Wix is another platform that's easy to start and set up. They also have a relatively large app marketplace, and it's a reliable platform with good security, but I do not recommend Wix for a number of reasons. The biggest reason is because it started out as a website builder and then they added the e-commerce functionality later on, and it shows. There's a limited amount of support, and a lot of the features that you would expect as an e-commerce store owner just aren't there with Wix. GoDaddy is another one of those platforms I do not recommend that you use. They do have affordable prices on domain names, but a lot of people get tricked into buying their hosting packages and trying to create an online store using GoDaddy.com, and I do not recommend going with them because it's overpriced and they just don't have as much features and functionality as these other platforms that we're talking about have. BigCartel is a free platform where you can put up to 5 products on your online store absolutely for free. It's simple to make a small store, and BigCartel is made for artists and creative type people. But the cons with BigCartel is there's just not enough features and not enough integrations. And I know that a lot of people want to start their e-commerce store for free, but the problem is as your business grows, it's going to be a big pain in the butt to move from Big Cartel to one of the more professional platforms. So I do not recommend going with Big Cartel, especially when WooCommerce also is free, and we'll be talking about that later in this video. There's also limited templates, and they do not have 24/7 chat or phone support like some of the other platforms we're talking about do. But if you're an artist or a creative type and you're just looking to sell some paintings, this might be a good solution for you. BigCommerce is another platform that used to be really popular, but they since have completely pivoted, and now they only cater to medium and large-sized businesses. I still see people recommending BigCommerce, but do not even think about BigCommerce anymore unless you are a medium to large-sized business. Magento is another platform that used to be really popular 3, 4, 5 years ago. They since have rebranded to Adobe Commerce, and the pros with this platform is it's highly customizable. The cons are it's extremely complex. You're going to need to hire a designer or developer to create your entire website. And overall, I do not recommend this platform. And now finally, let's talk about WooCommerce. And even though there's a lot of pros with WooCommerce, there's also a lot of cons with this platform. The first pro and the biggest pro with WooCommerce is it's free, sort of. Even though WooCommerce is free to use, you're going to have to pay for hosting. There are a lot of options for hosting, and getting hosting for your website is extremely affordable. I recommend going with Hostinger, and hosting your website with them only costs between $2 to $3 a month if you use the link in my description. Plus, I have the hookup with them that'll give you an extra 10% off if you use the coupon code down below. And not only is WooCommerce one of the most affordable options, it's actually the most popular e-commerce platform out there. And because of that, there is a ton of plugins and add-ons. In fact, WooCommerce has the biggest library of plugins out of all the e-commerce platforms in the world. It's also extremely easy to set up. It's only going to take you around 5 minutes to create your WooCommerce store. And there are a ton of free mobile-friendly templates that you can choose from. There's also templates that you can pay a little extra for if there's something specific that you want. But probably one of the biggest pros with WooCommerce is that it's fully customizable. You can change anything that you want. But one of the cons with WooCommerce is, even though yes, it is fully customizable, it's not the most user-friendly. It's really easy to set up and get going, but if you want to make changes deeper down in the code, you might want to hire a professional. Another con is that a lot of the basic features are missing from WooCommerce. Now, luckily, because they have such a big app and plugin catalog, you can usually find a plugin that will work to fix that issue, but that means that you're going to need to install a few plugins in order to use WooCommerce. Another con is that it's not as professional as platforms like Shopify. The technical support is not as good as it is on Shopify. And because with WooCommerce, you have to deal with a hosting company, sometimes there's going to be issues that are a little bit more complicated to fix. But now let's talk about Amazon, which is maybe the biggest opportunity to make money online right now. And that's because Amazon is a $1 trillion company. And last year there was over $500 billion of sales on their platform. And what most people don't realize is that Amazon allows you to sell products on their website. And this is the easiest way I've found to create a legitimate passive income business. And about 50% of all e-commerce sales happen on Amazon.com. And last year alone, they spent over $10 billion on marketing, which means if you sell on Amazon, you don't need to spend as much money on marketing because there's already customers on the platform. It's also easy to sign up, and it's the easiest platform to get set up because you don't need to create an entire website. All you need to create is a single product page. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a completely free 5-hour Amazon FBA course that will show you how to make money selling products on Amazon. Now, there are some cons with selling on Amazon, and the biggest one is that there is a lot of competition, a lot of other sellers. There's over 9 million sellers on Amazon. 4,000 new sellers are joining every single day because this is such a big opportunity. And I know that seems like a crazy amount of competition, but keep in mind, there's only around 2 million active sellers on the Amazon platform, only a little over 1 million sellers here in the United States. But the crazy thing about that is of those 1 million sellers, over 40% have made at least $100,000 selling products on Amazon. So yes, there is a lot of competition on Amazon, but if you sell on Amazon correctly, you can avoid this competition. And I talk about that in the free course I'll give to you at the end of this video. Another option is selling on Walmart.com, which is growing extremely rapidly. Last year, they did over $50 billion on their website alone. Another pro to selling on Walmart is if you make a lot of sales on their website, they're highly likely to get you into the retail stores. And Walmart is the biggest retail giant. They did over $500 billion of sales in their retail stores. So if you do well on Walmart.com, you have access to all these stores. There's also no monthly subscription fee when selling on Walmart.com. They only charge you a percentage of all the sales that you make. But the biggest con with selling on Walmart.com is it's way smaller than Amazon, only making up around 6.3% of all e-commerce sales. You can also sell on sites like eBay and Etsy, and with all of these platforms, it's a lot easier to make money because these platforms already have customers going to their website every single day. But there are some cons when selling on these platforms. But the biggest con is you're going to have to pay a fee when you make sales on these platforms. Walmart and Amazon charge you a fee of around 15% of all sales that you make. eBay and Etsy will also charge you fees. Another con when you're selling on these platforms is they can kick you off whenever they want. However, when you create a website using Shopify, WooCommerce, or one of the other platforms we talked about, you own the website and they can't kick you off as easily. So if you want to make a lot of money, I recommend selling on Amazon. I had one product that's done over $1 million in sales. I've since taught this technique to people like AJ and Brent, and AJ did $500,000 in his first year, and Brent has done over $1 million in sales. But that being said, even if you plan on selling on Amazon, you still want to create your own website using one of these platforms. And out of all these platforms, I recommend either Shopify or WooCommerce. If you're on a budget or you don't know how well your e-commerce business is going to do, I recommend going with WooCommerce. It's a great beginner platform, it's extremely affordable, and it's easy to set up. However, if you're looking to have a more professional e-commerce business, I recommend going with Shopify. Yes, it is more expensive, but in the long run, it's probably gonna be money well spent. And I have links for discounted WooCommerce hosting and discounted Shopify plans in the description down below. But if you are looking to create your own Amazon FBA business, you can click on this video right here. It's a free 5-hour course. I put so much time and energy into it. So make sure you click on that video. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.